Welcome to Fast Tip Friday. This is Amy Bowser-Rollins with Litigation Support Guru. I received an email recently where somebody asked for help on how to convert date time into date only. They received a report from something else in a CSV format, and the dates included the time, and they only needed the date. So they wanted to know how to convert it. So there's several different ways you can do it, but I thought this way was kind of interesting. So right now, if I select this cell, in the formula bar, it has the exact same value because that's the value in the field. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but in Excel, dates are actually integers and decimals. So if I were to change the formatting of, let's just change the formatting of this one cell. So right now it's a date format. If I change it to general, this is what it actually looks like. So if I click OK, this is what dates really look like in Excel. We just turn on the date formatting so it looks like a date for us. But we can use a formula that just pulls out the number to the left. So let me change this back to a date. Actually, it was set to date time. Now, actually, let me hold on right there. So this is the way that instinctively you want to fix it. I just changed it back to date. So right now it's date format, but if you go to date format, it's set to just the date, which that's what we want, right? Except for the fact that in the formula bar, it's still the whole thing. So it's really not just the date, it just appears to be the date. So it's a display thing versus an actual thing. So it depends on what you need. If you just needed to display it, then maybe that's good enough. And instinctively, you can just go to Format Cells, go to Date, and change it from that, or from Date Time, to just Date. But in our case, we actually are going to use a different formula. So now we're back to the way it was. So we're going to do a formula, so we'd put an equal sign. And the formula we're going to use is integer, which is int. And then we're going to base it on the cell to the left. So that's A2. I'm just going to click on it and then hit close paren. So then I hit enter, I get just the date. But as we know from previous Fast Tip Friday videos in Excel, I have the date displaying here, but it's actually a formula. So if I were to do anything else with this spreadsheet, the underlying thing is a formula, and we need it to actually be the value itself. So the way you get around that is you can copy, and then you can either paste right over it or you can paste in a different column. I'm going to do it in a different column just so you can see all the three versions. You'll paste, and then you'll paste special, and then you'll paste values. It's actually right here, paste values. But if you go to paste special and you go down to paste values, it'll be right here. So now, when I click on this, it's actually that value. When I click on this, it's the formula still. So if anything else, like if any of this column is still relying on that column. So if anything changes over here, this value will change because it's a formula. So if you actually want the date without the formula and you want the date without the time, you actually have to copy and paste. Like I said, you can copy and paste over this if you don't want to have a third column. Okay, so at this point, I can double click on the fill handle and it'll put the formula all the way down for all of these dates. And then can't do it there. Okay, that sort of makes sense. So now I can copy all of these, copy, and then paste values. So now I end up with just values. Okay, so there's a couple of other ways to get just the date, but I thought this one was very simple because it's all you need to remember is the integer formula, or the integer function, sorry. I thought that was pretty cool because it's basically taking the left half of the date in Excel format, which is actually called a serial number. But let's not go there today, okay? Hope you can put this tip to good use.